Hey, it's Candia Raquel, founder of Centro de Poder. Welcome to the Sensual Session podcast, the place to be to sense your fire so you can share the flame. Today we have a very special guest. She's Josefine Fischer. She's a yoga teacher. She's also a PhD in social studies. So welcome, Josephine. Such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Could you tell us a little bit more about your background and what you're doing and why you're doing it? It's so interesting.
Yes, my background in academia. So I started out as a researcher, like you said, studying research policy and philosophy of science. And I left academia about 6 years ago. And when I decided to become a yoga teacher instead. And essentially, I wanted to be a yoga teacher because I wanted to travel the world. So the plan was to be a traveling yoga teacher, which I didn't do. Instead, I became really interested in the body, anatomy and biomechanics, movement, the health benefits of movement, and not the least, the connection between mind and body, of course, and how you can utilize your body to boost your mind and your brain function, and everything. Because I was very much in the intellectual mode, and I was working in the university, and just came to my mind that all these people, sometimes these old professor guys, they had bodies that were being shaped after their chairs. Like they never had any pain because their back had like adjusted to the shape of the chair, so they would sit there super comfortably, but still they would never move. And I always felt like movement is such an important part of my life and my thinking process. You become much smarter if you can also use your body in the process. So that's how I got into what I'm doing now.
Yeah, yeah. I love everything that you're posting and has like this imprint of the relevance of movement for simply being more intelligent and having fluid body-mind connection, like just taking pauses. And you explain things in such like uh, an expressive and also like allowing and permissive way. Like in the asanas, like your flows are so gentle, and I like that a lot. And there's something in special that draw my attention, that you talked about intuition, and I have always been curious about like the tarot cards and astrology, and also like dancing and connecting with the audience in like mysterious ways. But you recorded a reel about intuition, and I was like, ah, yeah, this is it. It's so simple. So can you tell us like how did you arrive to that conclusion of connecting?
Yeah, because all the things that you mentioned, I think they're just tools. Tools to utilize our intuition, like tarot cards also, and all these kind of readings. There's nothing magic about them, but they're definitely magical, right?
Yeah.
It is magical, but still, it's just a way for us to get access to this infinite source of wisdom that we have inside our bodies and our brains. I think that intuition, I mean, normally we speak about the gut feeling, right? And how you feel about a situation or a person, but intuition is so much more than that. It's just because everything that we have learned and everything that we have experienced through our life, we store in our bodies. We store it in our brains, in our memory, in our nervous system, and also in our cells. And we don't have immediate access to all this knowledge in our thinking mind, because the thinking mind is very limited when we think consciously about something. But by using our intuition, we can tap into this source of knowledge, and then we just find that we know everything because we have all the information we need to take a decision or to judge a person or a situation or to know what to do next in our life. Usually we have it. We just need to find the ways to sort of tap into it. And like you said, tarot cards and this could be a way of doing it. But I like the movement way, of course, and to learn to feel into the body, to really become aware of your body, of the physical sensation. It's like letting the wisdom of your body speak and come up to your conscious mind.
Yes. Letting the wisdom of your body speak and come to your conscious mind. Because now that you mention, the conscious mind is very limited. And fortunately, it's very limited. But because imagine if we had to consciously contract the heart.
Yeah. No. Horrible.
And like being very focused on the secretion of all the hormones from the liver, and at the same time, like, no, you need to have like this connection of electricity flowing this way and not that way on the brain. Like, I mean, like
complete meltdown.
No, complete meltdown. Just as like, I mean, how can we how we keep the same temperature and pH from the thumb of the hand to the pinky toe far away on the other corner of the body? Like we are really amazing, wondrous creatures.
Yeah, we are.
And we pay too much reverence to our discursive thinking. Like we want to solve everything thinking, and yeah, even we believe that the solutions and the tools are there through maybe changing your mindset, affirmations. I don't say that don't work. Maybe that's the way for the tools for many people, but the key is to not forget that they are tools. And the thing that is going on is in you, in your body and in your flesh. And like, you're the one that's doing all that magic. And that mostly the self, like your flesh, your body, all the cognitive domains in you change first, and then you change your mind about it. Like then your way of thinking about things like changes. But yeah, we tend to hold on to something that we can say, this is it, like words, like my blah 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 in the mind. And what you refer to in that reel, that the audience, it's like wondering what else did she said. Well, we're heading there. Was all about like going directly to the source of that knowledge and wisdom. So how did you discover that, before you tell us like what's that source in the body?
I think it's when you start to become really aware of your body. So I work a lot with body scans where you just start with the toes. And if I have a lot of time, I do like one toe at a time, just focus my attention on them, and then moving on to the feet, the ankles and everything. And you get a very good like understanding of the body and the different parts. Like some parts, they don't have a lot of meaning, like the calves, they're just there, you know. But like there are other parts, like the hands, for instance, a very, very like sensory part of the body. You can feel them a lot, and they're connected to a lot of emotions also. Like when I focus on my hands, there will be more things happening in the body-mind connection than when I focus on my thighs, for instance. The thighs are more like they're just there. So that's a way to discover it. And I think this is pretty much the same for all people. Maybe like it differs a little bit, of course, but It's because the way the nervous system is created in our bodies.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, scanning and sensing, especially taking the time to realize what's there beneath the surface. So it's not like just your feet or just your hand. It's like it's you with a whole realm of sensitivity waiting for you to pay attention
Really.
to you. So now, could you tell us like that precise area of the body that we've been very mysterious about in this talk, where you connect to intuition?
Yeah, sorry, you're disappearing a little bit now.
Oh, am I back?
Now you're back.
I'm back. Yay.
Yes. Good. Yes, but what I wanted to say also about this is the component of trust, and how we really need to start trusting the body and this knowledge, because usually most people are so obsessed with the thinking mind, and you have to rationally think, figure out a solution to something, and it takes a lot of courage, I would say, to really dare to trust your body and to trust the process also, because sometimes it's a process. The answer is not just there. Maybe you have to feel it for a few days before you come up with something, and to really dare to be in that and trust the body, the wisdom of the body. Trust that it's there, that it's within you.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna start crying because like how, yeah, I know it's true. I've been there, but like lately I've been so disconnected from the trust of my body after I fractured a knee meniscus.
Oh.
So yeah, like I have been like so in like the survival mode of like, okay, emails, thinking, doing, like who's gonna wash the dishes because I cannot walk and move. And I've been missing myself. I've been missing like this connection to myself that is a fleshly certainty, like this plain knowing of what you're doing, or this plain knowing that you're gonna know, that you're gonna know, and you're gonna find out. And I used to hold on to that, but after like this situation, maybe that's been part of the challenge. Like I got disconnected and hold on to the mind, like to think and the diagnose and etc. And everything's going wonderful, but I was missing that part. And I am so happy I am interviewing you, because I just remember, yeah, trusting in the body, like trusting in your fleshy self beyond the discursive thinking. How did you discover this? Like, have you always trusted your body like this? It's beautiful.
No. Not at all. No, no, but like what you're telling me also, I'm thinking that it's also important to trust the process, that maybe what you needed at the time was to focus on all these practical things and focus on all these brain things. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. Of course, it's very good to remember to stay in the body and stay in the physical sensation and trust that. But there's nothing wrong. Sometimes we just lose it, and sometimes we find afterwards that it was necessary to lose it for some time. And sometimes the body can also be so painful that we don't want to focus on it. And then it's okay to take a break. You should always know that it's okay. But how I found out, oh God, I don't know. It's been a long process. I guess I have done a lot of meditation, and meditation is where the answer is always. I do a lot of Buddhist style meditation, where you try to just quiet your mind, whether focusing on the breath or I like the one where you focus on the sounds around you and really try to feel the sensation of hearing. And that is a good way for me to sort of empty my mind of conscious thinking. And when I do, things start coming up in the mind, like all memories, all painful memories also, and you get a chance to process them again. So you just sit there in meditation and you suddenly remember something from your childhood or something, and you get to experience it on a very physical level again. And maybe you do a little bit of crying and you give yourself some love, try to repeat a love compassion mantra or something to yourself, but to really feel it on a physical level again. And I think that's very powerful, and it's a way that have really assured me of the importance of the body and to trust the body. And then also, because of this, I do value kindness and being kind to yourself a lot. And I wasn't always. I was training extremely hard when I was at the university. I was a runner. I went to the gym. I would push myself to the absolute limit. Like I had a lot of anxiety from stress, and I would use running to get rid of anxiety. And there was no like, I'm tired and my knee hurts. I had to run because otherwise I would have anxiety. And so that's like not being kind to the body. And then I guess through yoga and through teachers I've had through the years, I have come to realize that it's much better not to push, if you actually give your body rest, then the body will be your friend and your ally, and it will like give so much more. And I was scared that if I started to rest, I would lose my energy completely. I would be like, okay, but if I just take it easy now, I'm going to sleep for 10 years. It's not going to work. But I didn't. I just, I slept for 15 minutes and then I felt so much better. And it really works. Like it gives you more energy. And so just starting to treat the body with kindness. And now I do it because, I'm a very physical person. I do work out a lot. I go to the gym, I run, I walk. But I do it on a level like if I feel like, no, today my body is a little bit tired, I'm not going to work out. I'm going to rest. And I find that it's so much more efficient. Like it really makes me stronger and more fit to work like that. And that's like a really powerful insight. Yeah.
Listening to the body and trusting the process, like trusting that if at any given moment like you're disconnected from the body, maybe that's precisely what you needed in that crisis or turning point. Or maybe if on the contrary, like you needed to rest and you went and take a 15-minute nap, trust that that's what your body and your whole self was asking to. And it reminded me of a conversation in a previous episode with Steve James, that he said that the problem with just opening to feeling, because we were talking about the blockages to pleasure, and that it's like said everywhere that relaxation is like the best in the universe and you should open up to relaxing in order to access your feelings and etc. And we said yes, when you relax, like pleasure surfaces. But not only pleasure, like if you open, everything that is in there, it's gonna come out. Not only pleasure, but also the pain of trauma or the pain of wounding or past experiences or whatever. So yeah, it's important to trust that if you're closed or shut down in any way, it's important for you to keep yourself like standing and going while you develop the means to process what's been like blocked and open up gradually in a safe way. So yeah, we go back to trusting the process and our ways that may not be like more logical to our discursive thinking, or maybe like not trending, because everything on Instagram nowadays is like open up and pure love and etc. But like
Yeah.
every case, it's like singular, and yeah, so important to trust the body. And there comes like the hot topic of this conversation that we have been like making it very mysterious, that is intuition. So tell us about intuition, Josephine.
And how to access it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just about allowing yourself to feel your body, and to trust the wisdom that is there and the knowledge which is there. And but also the feel to really feel safe. I think this is such an important matter also, that if you have a lot of unprocessed trauma, like you say, if you start feeling into your body, if you start relaxing, it may come up to the surface and there may be a lot to handle. And sometimes it's not wise to be alone in doing this. Sometimes we need a good teacher, someone to be there and hold space for us, so that we have loving, compassionate company in order to face all the hard things.
Yes. Tuning in, and not doing, you don't have to do it alone. It's good to receive support, receive help, ask for help, receive help, and process when you need to, and also like keep company while you discover all this intuition and knowing potential that it's in you. And would you share with us a little exercise to connect with intuition?
Yes, let's get started.
Yay.
So for everyone listening, make sure you sit comfortably, or if you stand up, that's very nice. If you stand up, then maybe you want to take your shoes off for better contact with the ground underneath you, or lay down, but just be relaxed and just close your eyes and take a few moments to start feeling into your body. So notice your feet, your legs, your arms, your torso. Notice your head. Just notice the weight of your body. So if you're standing up, the weight in the soles of your feet, or if you're sitting down, the weight in your seat, the heaviness, just a few moments to reflect on gravity and how it pulls you down towards the earth, making you stable. Knowing that no matter what happens, there will always be stable ground underneath you. And then take your awareness to your breath. So notice that you're breathing, and just take a few moments to appreciate this beautiful wonder that you constantly exchange gases with the atmosphere around you, and how that connects you to the world. The world is in you, and you are in the world constantly. And then feel into the front of your body and feel into your belly. And just notice what it feels like when you focus your attention on your belly. What kind of emotion pops up in your mind, or what kind of thoughts pops up in your mind? And see if you can stay with that emotion. Just observe it. take a note for yourself what it feels like. Tapping into that gut feeling. Keep feeling into your belly. And gently come back before you open your eyes. See if you can focus your gaze through your eyelids as if you're looking at something with your eyes closed. And then open your eyes, blink a few times, let the light back in. And know that feeling into your belly, noticing the emotion is something that you can do also when you think of a specific question, something that bothers you, because the answer is usually right there. We just have to be very quick to find it, because it's usually the very first direct emotional response we get, and that's where you have it. And the trick is to learn to recognize it. Yeah, to just grasp it right there. That's the trick. And then you know, because that's what happened before you start thinking about it. And then you start thinking about it, and then you lost it. Then you have to do it again. That's okay.
Yes, yes, I could feel it, because it's amazing how simple it is, and also, therefore, as Leonardo da Vinci said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. So
yeah.
we are often striving for the high-tech mobile phone and the knowledge far away in the mountains in the cave with the guru, when actually your gut feeling is there in your gut and has always been there. It's like that little annoying cricket that always knows.
Yeah.
And you try to even not listen and think about it, but yeah, it's like I I don't have words to say it, but it's a sense in the gut. Like, it's not I think I know that it's like more in the head. No, this is like really inside the gut. I feel like, I don't know, like in a, yeah, in the gut, like between the navel and the pubic bone, and around like the intestines, perhaps around the cervix. But actually, it's like I still have the sensation, and it's very interesting that it's there, but it's also like not anatomically localizable. Like,
no, not quite, but I think it's very interesting to feel, because we have a lot of nervous connections between the brain and the stomach, or the stomach area. Well, if you feel sick in your stomach, it usually makes you feel like shit in the head.
yeah,
Right?
definitely.
It's like the worst.
The
Like you
worst.
feel like you're gonna die. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's like having a cold or something doesn't have the same mental effect, but feeling sick in the stomach, and
Yes.
the opposite also. When we're really worried, we may feel sick in the stomach. So they go together.
They go together.
Of course, that's why you can, but I know it's like, it's just like a whisper of an emotion in the stomach, and you wow.
Yeah, yeah. A
And you feel,
whisper of a whisper of knowing in the stomach. Just trust that, because never fails. This is a gift, Josephine.
sometimes the whisper also rises into a scream when you keep doing something that you intuitively know is wrong.
Yeah.
But for some reason you keep doing it, and your whole body's like, no. Yeah. So that can also happen, but then you've gone too far. Just stop doing that.
Yeah, just stop doing that. Course correct, and go where it's the pure yes. Yes, 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 your gut feeling knows. Yeah, our internal North Star and guidance system.
Yes.
Gut feeling. Yeah. Thank you so much, Josephine. Tell us, where can we find you, know more about you, learn with you, take your
Yes, I am actually offering courses on body intelligence, and I do wonderful little micro pauses designed for office workers where you can learn body awareness and also make really nice, lovely movements that will help your physical body that has to sit in front of a computer all day. So just to get rid of any aches or pains in your back and shoulders. But mainly focusing on moving with awareness and making moving meditations. And I have my website called Movementality.se. It's SE because I'm from Sweden. And you can also find me on Instagram as Movementality.se.
Movementality.se. Go find Josephine, learn with her. She's amazing. Thank you, Josephine.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you, Sensualists, for being here at the Sensual Sessions podcast. If you aren't subscribed already to the Sensual emails, go to centraldepoder.com and get signed up so you get one of these wonderful episodes delivered to your inbox weekly, and also much more, many more surprises. Catch you next time, and until then, remember to sense your fire so you can share the flame.